The conversation around the All Blacks continues to grow as the team builds momentum under new head coach Dave Rennie, and one of the strongest reactions has come from former New Zealand international Murray Mexted. After watching the opening matches of the Nations Championship, Mexted shared his thoughts on where the team currently stands, what has impressed him the most, and why he believes the future looks encouraging. His comments have also sparked discussion because of his honest assessment of Ireland, a team he feels has earned respect through consistent performances but still has more to prove if it wants to be considered among the very best. For New Zealand supporters, however, the bigger story is the progress being made by the All Blacks, who appear to be developing confidence, balance, and identity under their new coaching staff. When Dave Rennie officially took charge earlier this year, expectations were naturally high. Replacing a national coach is never a simple task, especially in a country where rugby is deeply connected to tradition and success. Every selection, every tactical adjustment, and every result is carefully analyzed by fans and former players alike. That is why the opening weeks of the Nations Championship attracted so much attention. Many people wanted to see not only whether the All Blacks could win, but also how they would perform against quality opposition and whether there were signs of long-term improvement. So far, the early results have given supporters plenty of reasons to feel optimistic. New Zealand began the campaign with a thrilling victory over France, edging one of the world's strongest teams in a closely contested match. It was the kind of game that demanded composure under pressure, and although there were moments where both sides looked capable of taking control, the All Blacks managed to finish the job. That win was followed by a convincing performance against Italy, a side that has shown noticeable improvement over recent seasons. While many expected New Zealand to come away with the victory, the challenge was still important because it provided an opportunity to build combinations, test squad depth, and continue developing the team's playing style. The third match, against Ireland, perhaps carried the greatest significance. Entering the contest, Ireland remained one of the highest-ranked teams in international rugby and had established a reputation for discipline, structure, and consistency over the last several years. Defeating such an opponent in convincing fashion naturally strengthened confidence inside the New Zealand camp. Looking back at those opening fixtures, Murray Mexted believes the schedule itself presented an interesting challenge. Facing France first meant there was very little room for error, while the following matches required the coaching staff to balance winning with experimenting. According to Mexted, the victory over France was especially valuable because it allowed the coaches to learn important lessons about the squad while still collecting a positive result. He also acknowledged that Italy has become a stronger rugby nation, particularly in the forward pack, making that fixture more competitive than similar encounters from previous years. However, his greatest praise came after New Zealand's performance against Ireland, where he felt the All Blacks demonstrated quality, confidence, and attacking ability that suggested they are moving in the right direction. One of the most discussed parts of Mexted's interview was his opinion about Ireland. He suggested that the Irish team rates itself very highly within the international game and expressed the view that recent performances may not fully match those expectations. Importantly, these remarks represent his personal assessment rather than an established fact, but they have certainly generated debate among rugby fans around the world. Every successful team develops confidence, and confidence is often necessary to compete at the highest level. At the same time, public opinions about that confidence can vary greatly depending on perspective and recent results. In the case of Murray Mexted, his observations are shaped by decades of involvement with New Zealand rugby, both as a former international player and as a respected voice within the sport. Looking ahead, attention will naturally turn toward the next phase of the Nations Championship. Every upcoming fixture offers another opportunity for the All Blacks to demonstrate that their positive start is more than just a series of good results. Fans will be watching closely to see how the team adapts against different styles of opposition, how younger players continue to develop, and whether the attacking flair praised by Mexted remains a consistent feature of their performances. Equally, opponents will study New Zealand carefully, searching for areas they can exploit while preparing their own game plans. That ongoing tactical battle is one of the reasons international rugby remains so fascinating for supporters around the world. As for Ireland, there is little doubt that they remain one of the strongest rugby nations and will continue working to improve after this defeat. Elite teams often respond positively to setbacks, using them as motivation to refine their systems and raise their standards even further. Future meetings between these two proud rugby nations are therefore likely to attract enormous attention, with each contest providing another chapter in an increasingly competitive rivalry. For now, though, the focus remains firmly on New Zealand's encouraging start under Dave Rennie. 3 victories have provided confidence, valuable experience, and a sense of direction for a squad entering a new era. While there is still significant work ahead before any major conclusions can be drawn, many supporters will see these early performances as evidence that the All Blacks are rebuilding with purpose. If they continue to combine disciplined teamwork with the creativity and attacking instinct that have traditionally defined New Zealand rugby, they will remain one of the most exciting teams to watch throughout the rest of the Nations Championship. The coming weeks will reveal just how far this group can go, but based on the opening matches, the conversation surrounding the All Blacks has shifted from uncertainty to cautious optimism, and that alone marks an encouraging beginning for Dave Rennie and his coaching team. The conversation